Okay, we're now going to look at the teachers area on our learninformatics.co.uk portal. When the teacher logs in, we can see that they get the resources and the class progress. So if we click on class progress, we can now see that we've got a staff candidate here, which is obviously the teacher, and underneath are lists of the sets. Well, we've got one set here, 7T, and we've got two candidates, so let's see the progress that they've been making. Now here we've got King Duncan and Lady Macbeth, and we can see that they've got 1, 2, 3, we've got 4 core modules here and an advanced module there. Obviously this class are either very lazy or have just started. In this case we'll assume they've just started the course, and we can see that Lady Macbeth has completed a task. King Duncan has not yet done so. So if we click on device basics, it drills down into what they've done, and we can see that Lady Macbeth has done task 1, and here we have logging on. So she's completed that first task. This is always very useful because if you look down the columns, you can see which of your classes have made progress on a particular task, and sometimes it's worth focusing on tasks that they've obviously got stuck with in one lesson, so you can tailor your class to suit how the pupils have got on. You will see that some of the tasks here have little stars by them. They are teacher assessed tasks. So for example, if you were doing a lesson with King Duncan and Lady Macbeth and teaching them about their new device, then they would go through the new device instructions, and if you're happy that they completed it, you can then click on there and add the task, and a little task tick comes up. You can do that again. I don't want to see this every time, so I'll tick it again, and you see that Lady Macbeth and King Duncan have now done 2. And if we head back to 7T's progress, okay, we'll see they've done 1 out of 14, and Lady Macbeth has done 2 out of 14. So those are teacher assessed tasks. One of the unique things, however, about Learn Informatics is that we have a marking engine, and the marking engine can save teachers quite a bit of time. If we go back to our word processing exercises, there's one called Vocab, and here it is. If I open up Vocab, we're able to see that one of the exercises was to complete this particular task by having the days of the week in Spanish on the left and in English on the right, and their task was to put in this little tab here, a left tab and a right tab over here. However, we notice this student hasn't quite got it right because Sunday is not correctly formatted. Once they've done this, we can then move to the Informatics marking engine. So say this was Lady Macbeth, she can put in her credentials here, and the marking engine connects. Now when we've connected to the marking engine, she can scroll down, find vocabulary, there we are, select the file, which I know is in Informatics, exercises, software, word processing, and you may recall it was down in Vocab. You can open that up and mark the file. So the great thing is that the students can work on their tasks in application, so actually working properly in Word, and when they've finished it, they can submit it to the marking engine. The marking engine will check that they've followed all the steps inside the exercise, and then it will tell them either they've got it right, in which case that will be ticked off on their progress. Alternatively, it will tell us where we've gone wrong, and sure enough, here it says there is no tab set at 11:44 Domingo. So the student should now go back, having read the feedback. This can all take place, of course, without the teacher, which is great because the teacher can be off helping somebody who needs some help. And then I'm sure if we format this properly and save it, close it down, then we can resubmit it to the marking engine. And the marking engine will now have another look at the document, decide that hopefully we've got it right this time, and once it's marked correctly, then we should see that that will end up as a tick inside the portal. The real advantage, of course, of the marking engine is that it makes the students' learning independent. So they've got a booklet, they've got the tasks, they can get on with it, they can check it, they get really good diagnostic feedback, and then they can try to correct the task from there. So there we are, vocabulary complete. And if vocabulary is complete, we would expect Lady Macbeth now inside, hopefully. There we are, software. We can nip to software and we can see that she will now have completed, hopefully, and go to the teacher's homepage. That's the one. There we are, the candidate's progress, and there Lady Macbeth has done number 10, which is vocabulary. So we've seen two ways in which marking can take place: the teacher assessed tasks, the marking engine tasks, and of course the third way is that we can go to cybersecurity. Wherever there are online tasks, we can click on a test. It is internet knowledge, and the student can select their answers for these questions. Click on submit answers. Red tells them that they've gone wrong and would need, for example, select here the internet service provider. Click submit answers, and that will then show us that that one's correct, but these are still wrong. And once they've finished and get them all right, that one will be ticked, and then we can return back to the unit. Obviously at the moment she has done none. So those are 3 ways in which assessment can take place within Learn Informatics, either by teacher assessed tasks, or by the unique marking technology, or online testing. Thanks for listening.